Hi. Okay, so this is my Crowley from Good Omens Halloween costume for this year, or at least this is the progress I have so far. So I am doing Crowley's 1941 costume, except instead of a suit, I am going to be wearing a blazer dress. But let's start out first with the shoes. So you can see there I've taken out the original laces and I have temporarily put in some red ribbon. And I do intend to use this ribbon trim in a sewing project in the future, but for now I'm using it for this because accents of red look really good for Crowley's aesthetic that he has going on. It's consistent with him. And for the legs, I have a pair of tights from Snake Tights that are black and have a gray snake going up the leg. That's perfect for Crowley because he also wears a lot of gray in his color palette in his costumes. But for the main part of the costume that everyone is going to be looking at, obviously I have the red tie. I did not have batting or interfacing in my sewing stash, so there's nothing holding the two pieces of fabric front and back of the tie together. However, Crowley's red tie has a design that is embroidered on it in the show that I will be copying. So once that embroidery is there, it will hold the tie together. And I also added this. So you might remember seeing lots of suits out there having a handkerchief tucked into the breast pocket. So let me just show you that. I have a piece of scrap fabric that I sewed a red lining to that's on the other side that has books on it with gold overlay. The books are darker colors and the gold is a very nice touch, and I thought that this would be a nice reference to Aziraphale, but there is no breast pocket in this oversized blazer, so I will have to add that before this can actually sit properly, and even then, it's folded over and pinned down right now, but when the breast pocket is actually there, I may need to tack down some temporary little knots in the corners to keep it in place and tucked in, so we will see about that. I do have a snake ring that I was going to wear on my finger, but I had put it as a placeholder around the knot of the tie before like this, and I really liked the way that it looked on the tie like this. So I think I am going to keep the snake ring sitting there instead of on my hands, because I also like, depending on how cold it is that night on Halloween, I may be wearing gloves, so it's better to have the ring there. I also have Crowley's glasses with the little side shield that he wears in modern times. This is not the version of the glasses that he wears in 1941, so like I said, it's not totally accurate to the show, but I already had these glasses, so since I have Crowley glasses, I'm going to use them regardless of if it matches this version of his costume. Now, with the actual blazer itself, it is oversized and long, but it's not long enough to be a mini dress. So what I'm going to do, as far as the sewing, other than embroidering the design on the tie, what I have to do is seam rip the original sleeves off, use the end of the original sleeves to make the cuffs for the new sleeves. I'm going to be using some black floral sheer fabric that I have left over from a project that I did not do on YouTube as the new sleeves, and they're going to be slightly gathered into the cuffs, almost like a poet sleeve. And the rest of the fabric left over from the original sleeves will be used to lengthen it. In the front, it needs to be lengthened by around 2 inches, and in the back, 3.5 to 4 inches. I also need to make the breast pocket to put that bit of book fabric in. The thing that I might not do is adding darts to make it fit me a little bit better, because as you can see here, there are some fake pockets in the front that might end up looking a little bit weird if there end up being darts going right through those. So we'll see about whether I do that or not. But that's all that I need to do in terms of the sewing. So now I'm going to show you the not sewing portion of the costume. But before I do that, quickly, I'm not going to be wearing earrings or necklace. The reason why I'm not wearing a necklace is because of the tie. The reason I'm not wearing earrings is because when I am going to be wearing the costume, I'm going to be doing my hair, which is black and red, which is perfect for Crowley, in sort of a 1940s pinup style where on one side it's going to be pinned behind my ears. And the reason why is because I'm going to do Crowley's snake sideburn tattoo, and I'm going to essentially draw it on some thick paper and cut it out and use it as a stencil to paint it on the side of my face. So I don't want earrings or anything distracting from that. And because I'm going to be wearing the glasses, I'm not going to do any eye makeup. It's just going to be some general like foundation and some red lipstick to match the tie, and also because like red lipstick is super 1940s. So for the part of the costume that I'm not going to be wearing, I'm going to show you that next. So for the part of my costume that I'm not wearing, I'm going to have demon wings. You can see them here. So this one is done. What I did was I drew the design on some cardboard that I had flattened out some boxes for, and after I had drew the full design, I drew on the smaller sections of the wing and then taped some pieces of tracing paper together and then cut those out and then put those over more pieces of cardboard to trace and cut out these smaller pieces of the wings. Then I glued them all together with craft glue, used a coat of black paint on both of them. You can see the layer a little bit more here since I didn't paint all the details. But over top of that, I know that it looks white. It's actually silver. It's a metallic silver paint that I used for the feather details on the wings. Now, you can see they're over top of each other from what the camera can see. They're on the floor. I can't get a shot wide enough, but they are going to be set up with the ends parallel to each other so that it looks like they are coming out from my shoulder blades, and they will be set up where I will be sitting when I am giving out candy and stuff for Halloween. I will do some test setups where I put up the cardboard pieces, but for now, you're just seeing the progress on them. So this one's fully painted and this one is not. I started on this one, but I didn't want to finish it because I wanted to be able to show you a little bit of the process and what it looks like not painted. So you, again, you can see the layers a little bit better here when it's not painted, and it can look a little bit more flat with the paint, but in person you can see the layers really well even after all the feather detailing is there. So those are the Crowley wings, and the last part of the video, or not video, sorry, the last part of introducing all the elements in this video of the costume is showing where is Aziraphale going to be in all of this. So this is my biblically accurate Aziraphale. In the show and book, canonically, he is a type of angel known as a principality, and a biblically accurate angel is actually a type of angel called a seraphim. So Aziraphale is not a seraphim, but I am having him appear as one for the purpose of simplifying the backdrop to my costume. So just like the demon wings, the little angel Aziraphale here is made out of layers of cardboard that I had separately cut out and then glued on top of each other with craft glue. I had used red marker to do the outlines, and it's showing up a little bit pink with the white paint underneath it. So you couldn't see any of it with the black paint that I used for the demon wing, so this is definitely going to need another coat of paint along the parts that are white. So let me just show you here. For the centerpiece, with the white wings, I'm just going to use more of the gold paint that has painted the ring that you can see the way that I use the silver paint with the Crowley demon wings. But in the center here, He does have his bow tie that he wears in his human form. The colors for the tartan on the bow tie that I'm going to use is going to be sort of an off-white cream, gold, silver, blue, and purple. And then I think around the eye, inside the circle, I probably will use a sort of flesh tone, as long as it doesn't end up looking creepy. On the inside, in the iris, Aziraphale's eyes are blue, and it is going to be blue, but it is going to start at the bottom of the iris with a light blue and go into a dark blue near the top. And in the top where the dark blue is, it's going to have sort of a night sky galaxy sort of thing going on, because since I have the little handkerchief with books on it, as a reference to Aziraphale, Aziraphale has a little starry night in his iris going on as a reference to me, aka me as Crowley, because they should both have references to each other. In terms of inside the gold ring, what I am going to do is on the very top, I am going to paint the design that is on the ring that Aziraphale wears on his pinky finger in his human form. And on the sides, I am going to have the harp design that is on the cufflinks of his shirt. So in between those, there are going to be 4 smaller eyes, since seraphim angels have multiple eyes, and those eyes are not going to have a difference in color in the iris. They are all going to be a light blue in order to keep it simplified. So now that I have showed you all the elements of this costume, the next clips you are going to see is the progress on the sewing portion and also the painting portion that is left, because I already have done some so far, as you can see. And I probably will do a rough draft setup of showing you what the cardboard pieces look like set up with the costume, having the costume on the dress form. And also, because I don't think I mentioned it, Aziraphale here is going to be hovering over me and my open demon wings, sort of like he's watching over me. So that will be interesting. Hi, so this is the project in this little update that's probably halfway through the video. So as you can see, breast pocket done. I wanted to have the fabric folded a little bit wider so that you could see a little bit more that they're books, but you can still tell. And also, I didn't say it, but I knew that a bunch of people were thinking this, that yes, the tie was atrociously tied in the last clip. I don't know how to tie a tie, and I still don't. I just sort of winged it because I knew that the snake ring was going to be secure around it anyway. So this is the tie. I can't remember if I mentioned it because I filmed those first couple clips a few days ago, but I don't have any interfacing, so there's no interfacing in the tie. The 2 sides of the fabric of the tie are just being held together by the fact that number 1, I ironed it, which you can no longer tell, because number 2, I embroidered on the design, and the fabric has puckered a little bit because as much as I tried to hold it as straight as possible, I do not have an embroidery hoop, so I couldn't make it super straight. Believe me, I tried to have it be as straight as possible. I was holding it like really tightly, and there's still a little bit of puckering going on. I don't know if a second iron will do anything, but I might try. I already did my practice setup with everything, so we'll see. I might try to iron it before the real thing on Halloween and see, but this video will be out by that time, so you won't know if it worked or not. I also did measure for the diamonds on the pattern, but I did not measure for the little loop thing that is going through each diamond, which is why it looks a little wonky. But that kind of works though, because Crowley's a demon, so why would any of the lines be straight on a design on something that he's like wearing, you know? Stylistically, I mean. And so then we have these sleeves. So the sleeves are made out of sheer fabric, like I said, left over from another project. And let's see if I can... Yeah, so you can see the cuffs there made out of the ends of the original sleeves, and the rest of the fabric from the original sleeves was used to lengthen it. Now I know that it looks kind of bad, seeing it on the dress form. For some reason, when I wear it, it looks fine and is not taking that weird shape that it's taking right now. So trust me that when I'm wearing it, it's fine. It's just on the dress form, those extra few inches of length look a little bit weird. I don't know if it's because the dress form is a slightly different size than me, even though it is adjustable, but it's still a different size for other reasons that I won't get into. And I did end up putting some darts in, like I said I might. I avoided getting through any of those fake pockets that you can see here by having them on the side, which you can't see because the sleeves are blocking them. But overall, it turned out, I don't have it to show you, but I ended up using construction paper to make my stencil for the snake tattoo. And it worked. Okay, so these are the demon wings. Now, I should have had the foresight to think to paint the cardboard piece that's joining them in the middle here as well, and I didn't, because I added the pieces that are meant to help tape, excuse me, the cardboard pieces up to the garage door like an hour before I did my practice going through all that. So, for that reason, the joining piece is just unpainted cardboard that also has some tape on it, because I didn't trust the craft glue to be enough. As I said before, the paint that creates all the little feathery details on the wings is silver, but it might be showing up white. I also can't remember, but I think the first wing that I did, which is this one, I can tell it's this one, I think I might have used a different paintbrush because there appears to be a lot more silver on the ends on this side. I don't think it's that big a deal, and I certainly don't think it's enough of a big deal to go over a second time to try to fix, because I might accidentally make it worse. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave them the way that they are. I do like them, and you can't really see it on camera unless I perhaps tilt it. Yeah, so okay, there we go. If I tilt it, you can kind of see the different layers of cardboard that they are made out of. So this is Aziraphale, completely finished. Now, some of the red pen that I had used for the outline is showing through a little bit underneath the gold details. However, that is showing up more on camera than it does in person, so not that big of a deal. So let me just sit down here so that I can show you up close. So the bow tie has a tartan design, like I said, with the color scheme that I said I was going to use. On camera, you can see better that the base color is an off-white, but you can't really see it that much in person. And the blue and purple that I had used first was too dark, and so once I had done the eyes, I used the lighter blue and purple and went over again, but only on the stripes that go upwards and downwards as opposed to across, so there's a little bit more dimension there, which I like. As you can see in the details on the wings, unlike the demon wings where the feathers are very detailed because these wings are smaller, and also because angels would have wings that are less disheveled. These are all very like more uniform, which I think canonically makes sense. So let's take a look at the eyes. So I thought about perhaps using yellow for the moon and stars design, and then didn't because there's already a lot of gold, which is similar to yellow. And you can see a little spot there where some of the flesh colored painting I had accidentally wiped a little bit off. But I'm still happy with it. As you can see, it is mostly blue, but there's a little bit of purple in there because the show has shown that angels' eyes present as purple when they are in heaven, and the smaller eyes are also blue with a little bit of purple in there as well. So I'm very happy with how it looks. Just to let you know, I did film a clip showing my practice setup with this and the demon wings up against the garage door, where I'm gonna actually be on Halloween when I do it for real. But the few clips I filmed of that, the way that I filmed and edited them together, are supposed to go with a song that is heavily associated with Crowley and Aziraphale in the Good Omens fandom. And because of that, if I include that clip in this video, then that's like a copyright issue. So that's not going to be part of this video, but that is going to be a YouTube short that you can watch. That's also going to be an Instagram reel and a TikTok. And I have a feeling a lot of the people that are here are probably from those and then came to watch this one after. But if you're not, just so you know, you can go watch that. So to anyone who is checking me out for the first time, I have one other Good Omens video on this channel, which is the audio of me reading out 2 fan fictions that I had wrote. That's about 20 minutes long. I have another sewing video showing my Lily Munster dress that was my Halloween costume from last year. And I have a funny TikTok compilation, and that's it, because I'm just starting out YouTube this month, so I'm not even asking you to subscribe or like or comment or anything. I'm just asking if you would check out some of the other videos and see if you might like them. And I do hope that you liked this, because I really liked this project, and I'm actually going to hang up this and also the demon wings on my wall when Halloween is done, instead of putting it in storage, because that's just how much I like the final result. So for those of you who will be coming back for my future videos, I will see you next time, and to everyone else, thank you for joining me this time.